I had a boss some time back that used to say, nothing happens until somebody sells something. This is because sales and sales activities are the thing that bring income into your business. And as business owners, as high ticket coaches, as online experts, we are all interested in income. We gotta be, because that's how we start our businesses. That's what we need to sustain our businesses. That's how we grow. So today I wanted to take a little bit of time to dig into the 4 main income producing activities that you need to set up within your business, that you need to have a solid foundation for in your business, that need to fit together from one to the next, like a really solid puzzle piece for you to grow and scale your business for years to come. So with that, let's jump in to this episode. Welcome to the Next Level Sales Podcast, the podcast where sales, spirituality, and business come together so that you build your dream business, accomplish big goals, and make the world a better place, one conversation and one client at a time. I'm your host, Jessie Quinby Hearns, and after 20 years of having thousands of sales conversations and coaching hundreds of business professionals to multi-six-figure incomes, I am a firm believer that if you identify with being a kind-hearted individual who has big goals for yourself, yet you don't identify with being a salesperson, it is absolutely possible for you to build that thriving high-ticket coaching business while still being completely in alignment with your values and your authenticity. It is absolutely possible to bridge the gap between selling and creating your joyful, abundant dream life. So I'm here to inspire you, motivate you, and share stories to show you how all this is possible. It is a wonderful journey, my friend, and I am so glad to have you here with me. With that, let's get to today's episode. Okay, I want you to close your eyes and in your mind picture a conveyor belt. Maybe it's like a quality control in some sort of manufacturing organization where things move through certain stages and they end up either being packaged as good, we're going to go out to the customer, or they fall off the line because there's something wrong and they can't go out to the public. So that whole line, there's a process of events that happens and people are watching it along the way, right? This is very much like what happens with our business and getting new clients into our business. I had a boss one time, of course, I'm in the sales world, right? So on the sales team, but I had a boss one time, some time back, who used to say, nothing happens until somebody sells something. And it's so true, because if you think about the conveyor belt, the conveyor belt's not going to be working. It's not going to be moving merchandise along that conveyor belt system unless somebody's making orders, right? There's not going to be people coming into the business. No one's going to be getting paid salaries unless there's income producing actions happening. And the income producing actions revolve around sales, right? When you think about any business that's out there, sales is the thing that gives the business income. And all the sales related activities are the things that give the business income. And most everything else within the business, the production of the merchandise, paying staff, benefits. If you have a brick and mortar building, you're paying for rent. You're paying for supplies. You're paying actually sometimes to acquire potential clients, but sales related activities are generally some of the only things that bring income in to a company, right? So nothing does happen within a business until somebody sells something. So I want to talk today about the machine of our businesses as high ticket coaches, as online experts. What is the income producing machine that creates income for our businesses? And as business owners, we've got to care about creating income because that's how we grow. That's how first off, it's how we survive, but it's also how we grow. It's how we look at our business and make decisions. We watch the numbers and see what's producing income for us and what's not. And we make decisions based on the success of those processes. And for me, I have always looked at the machine that produces income, kind of the sales systems that produce income within our businesses, as four cogs on that conveyor belt machine that move new clients into our world and through a step-by-step process that either has them enrolling with us or maybe moving into a nurturing bucket or maybe not ever buying from us. So what are those four things? Well, number one, it starts with lead generation. Yes, now lead generation can be an expense. If you're doing ads, you can also go organic. But lead generation can incur some costs. But if you don't have some sort of lead generation system, it's very difficult to get to sales. So while there is potential for spending some money with lead generation, you always want to be sure that your profit is such that you are well exceeding anything that you spend, obviously, with the revenue that you're bringing in, with the income that you're bringing in from your new clients. So for me, lead generation still net is an income producing activity. It's always an income producing activity. You want to keep expanding your sphere of leads that are coming into your world so that you can sustain your business, so that you can grow your business, so that you can help more new clients, so that more and more and more people know about you and how you help people and want to work with you, right? So lead generation is step one, always. When you're building this income producing foundation for your business, which every business needs to have. I mean, think about it. You look at Amazon, you look at cars, you look at any business out there, they have these four components as part of their income producing systems. Okay, so lead generation is number one. So the question is, how is your lead generation system working for you? Is it bringing you, number one, we want quality leads, right? A lot of leads is one thing, but if they're not your audience, that doesn't do you much good. So we want quality leads. We want to attract your ideal clients into your world. So number one, there is the quality of your audience. How is that? Number two is, what are the activities that you're doing with your lead generation system to bring people in? How does it feel to you? Does it feel good? Does it feel aligned to your values? Does it allow you to represent your values? Does it allow you to show your ideal clients your authenticity and your expertise? Or is it something that you really don't enjoy doing? I've talked about this a lot because unfortunately I see a lot of people wanting to find the magic bullet, that magic pill. If I do this, I'm going to have a ton of leads coming in and I'm going to start making 100K months right away, right? And so many people are out there advertising that they can help you do that. But lead generation needs to be something that's in alignment with you, that needs to be where you can allow your ideal clients to see you, your expertise, your superpower, because that's what's going to draw them to want to work with you. So yeah, we need to target ideal audiences. We need to target people who are our ideal clients, but we also want to be sure that we're doing things that are in alignment with us, that feel good to us, because it's really hard to sustain any sort of lead generation system if it doesn't feel good to you, right? And to be quite honest with you, your lead generation system is the first impression that any future client gets of your business. This is their first introduction to you. So what sort of impression are you making with your lead generation? If you're out there cold DMing people, is this the representation that you want people to have of your business? This is just a question, but I know, as I talk to a lot of people who are doing things that they don't feel in alignment with, it really may be leading them to a path that's a destination that they don't particularly want, right? If you're doing things that don't feel good to you, maybe that path is not going to lead you to your ideal client because you're going to be attracting people who don't resonate with the methods that you're using, that may not resonate with your ideal clients, that may not be reflective of your values, where people are like, gosh, I really like that person. I like how they do this. I can relate to it. It really resonates with me. Okay, so these are all thoughts that are so important to go into what you choose to do for your first step of this income producing activity, the first few bricks into your sales machine foundation that are so important. Because this is the top of the funnel. This is where you're bringing lots of people into your world and exposing yourself and your business to them. And you want to create the right impression, because the better impression you make, the more in alignment with you, the more authentically and truly you can show yourself to your ideal clients, the easier it's going to be for all these other steps along the way. The more in alignment that lead will be to the rest of the steps of the process along the way. I hope this is making some sense. Okay, so step 1, lead generation. We want lead generation to hit your right clients. We want it to be in alignment with you. We want it to shine your superpower so that you are truly magnetic to your ideal clients. So step 2, from there, where do you go from there? Well, step 2 is your sales conversation, some sort of communication with this lead about what you do, who you are, and how you can help them. This may be done in an actual conversation, like across a Zoom call. It could be done in person. It could be done through text messages, DMing people. It can happen a lot of different ways. But in my opinion, the sales conversation is a really crucial part of the stage of the foundation, because it really helps either draw a person towards you, or it can end the path for them right there. I hate to say that, but the sales conversation is so key for both you and for your ideal client, for this lead that has now moved from being a lead into being more connected with you because you're having some sort of a conversation with them. You're starting to build a relationship with them, right? Through having some sort of communication with them, some sort of a conversation. This is a chance for you to know if this lead is looking for the service that you actually provide. Are the outcomes that they're searching for how you can help them? Is this client actually in alignment with the type of people that you serve and can serve well? These are really important questions for you to know. And for the client, it's really important for them because they can get to know who you are. Are you the same person that you were with the lead generation step in step number 1? I've heard a lot of times that there are people who come across as a totally different person. The lead generation portrays them one way, and then the person that they actually meet during the sales conversation feels and seems to be somebody totally different. Now, that's not really a great thing, right? It's really important in your client's eyes to have some consistency here. Otherwise, they're going to be confused. They're going to be mistrustful. And quite honestly, people are going to be a little mistrustful with a sales conversation anyway, because they're afraid someone's going to just try and push them into something that they don't want to do. That's so often what people feel like a sales conversation is. From the buyer's perspective, they are simply thinking, oh yeah, if I get on this call, they're really just going to try and sell me something. Now, I'll tell you, it's very disarming when you come at it from a different angle, when you are truly there to see if this person is a good fit for what you do and are respectful of the fact that they need to also do their own due diligence to really understand what you offer. It totally changes the entire conversation. When you're there to help them and find the best results for them, whether it be you or a different solution, I can't tell you how magnetic that is for clients to want to move closer towards you, to want to try and see if you're offer is truly a solution for them or not. So sales conversation is step 2, having the right skills, understanding the dynamic of the energy and the conversation. It's really a very nuanced and individual process, yet there's also a framework that can go around it. There's absolutely steps that you can walk people through that are a guide for what this sales conversation should look like. But it's also really a human conversation. It's a human connection. So each conversation is slightly different because every human is different. But when you look at a sales conversation, regardless of whether it's a Zoom call, in person, or through text messages or DMs, when you look at it as a meeting of two people trying to see if you're a good fit to work together, it is truly a game-changing sort of conversation, game-changing sort of a connection with the lead that has now entered into your world. It's been my experience with over 20 years in the sales role, in the sales world at varying levels, that when you enroll a client that isn't a good match for what you do, it really truly ends up being a bad thing for you. It's a bad thing for the client. It's very time consuming, and it is just not worth all the effort to just try to get a sale. It doesn't serve anybody well. Yet on the other hand, when you take the time through a genuine, deliberate, intentional, connected sales conversation to make sure that the client that you're talking to really is a good match for what you offer, that they have a desire and the end results that you provide are in alignment with them, you're going to get a client who is motivated, who is excited, who's going to be an ideal match for what you do. When you enroll the right client, they are going to be excited. They are going to be invested in working with you and getting results. They are going to be happy to share their experience with others, so that translates into fantastic testimonials and referrals. And ultimately, these people will see the greatest success in working with you because they're truly invested. They know what they're getting, and there's not this gap of, oh, I thought I was going to get this, but it turned out to be something totally different than what I was expecting. That's where people get frustrated, right? Ultimately, I see the sales conversation as you as the business owner and your lead, the potential client, coming together and as a team, seeing if this is the right thing for them and for you. It's a mutual agreement. Because if it's the wrong client, it's going to be bad for you. It's going to be bad for them. If it's the right client, it's going to be great for them and it's going to be great for you. And that's a win. That's a win-win, right? And that's what everybody's looking for. So that's the role of the sales conversation. So step number 2, sales conversation is most definitely an income-producing block to the foundation of your sales machine. Step number 3 is your offer. Now, you're thinking, okay, well, my offer is my coaching program, right? Well, yes, no, yes and no. Your offer is your coaching program. I look at your offer as having multiple elements to it. In my past corporate life, we used to call them the 5 Ps. This is kind of marketing sorts of stuff, but these 5 elements all affect how irresistible your offer is. And that would be, number 1, your product, which that would be your offer, right? That is your coaching program. Number 2 is your pricing. So we're talking about where you position your pricing, how you position your pricing. Do you have payment plans? What have you set up with regard to your pricing that makes it easy for a client to say yes? Positioning. Positioning to me is an interesting one. There can be a lot of elements to this, but positioning is what sort of elements do you want to incorporate into your offer that makes it irresistible? And for me, one of those big positioning things is you. You are a one-of-a-kind. How do you create a one-of-a-kind offer? This is your positioning. How do you make it stand out from everything else that's on the market? This would be your positioning. This also includes some of your messaging. How do you position it out there in the world? How you speak about your offer is going to draw people to you or to your offer or not. The fourth P is promotion. So this is how do you get it out there into the world? How do you promote it? How are you finding the lead generation mechanisms that are bringing people into your world? So this is one of the elements of your offer, right? How do you get people to see it? Where are you finding your ideal clients? I have an image that I really love to use within my program. It's actually an ice cream truck on the beach. This is great promotion. It's an ice cream truck that is sitting there in the middle of this beach, and it has all these beautiful pictures of nice cold ice cream treats all around the edges of the truck. Now, it just sits there. It doesn't do anything. But boy, all day long, you can sit there as you're laying there on the beach and look at the cool ice cream treats, all the different types, chocolate vanilla, some sundaes, like they've got the special, like the old-timey strawberry ones that you used to get from the ice cream truck when you were a kid as it was driving up and down the street. So it is just quietly showing you all day as you're sitting there in the hot sun, maybe after you've been swimming a bit, maybe it's after lunch and you're still hungry and something sweet sounds good. But this is amazing promotion. It is showing everything in its environment, what it does well, the variety of things it has. It's sharing pricing. It's showing the product, right? And there's some really happy looking people inside the truck. So they're like, yeah, everybody's having fun. There's a line there. They're having a good time over there. And you're like, I think I want to be a part of that. This is great promotion. Ice cream truck on the beach, right? So you got to think about being an ice cream truck on the beach with your product. You want to be a one of a kind and put yourself where people see you. The people who will want what you offer see you, and they want to come into your world. The last of the 5 P's is people. So this might be you if you are a solopreneur. This might be you and your team if you have a little bit larger team. But the people element of your offer is crucial, because the people who represent your offer, people who are front facing to your clients, are representing you. And we, either whether it be you as an individual solopreneur or any member of your team who is interacting with your clients, if someone is out of alignment with you, your values, not expressing themselves to your ideal clients as you and your brand would want represented, it can really derail the sales process, right? So people have a big impact. Whoever is representing your offer to your leads represents you and everything that you stand for. They are your brand. So if something's out of alignment there, that can be a bad thing, obviously, for your income potential. If they are in alignment with you, if they represent you well, that is incredibly powerful for the income producing potential for your business. So these 5 P's around your offer: product, positioning, pricing, promotion, and people. Those are the 5 things that make up your offer. And I always look at them as levers. Like, you want to keep an eye on each of these things around your offer, because you want to make sure that all of these are dialed in optimally. Make sure all the levers are right in the right spot so that your offer is irresistible to your ideal clients. You can have lead generation, you can have people coming into your world, you can have great sales conversations, but if your offer is off, it's going to still be hard to sell. So offer is a really big component and another foundational block to your sales system machine. Okay, last but not least is follow-up. Okay, so at this point, you've had leads coming in, you've had sales conversations, you have a dialed in offer, all that's really good. Say someone still doesn't buy. Well, follow-up is where you actually kind of can exponentially increase your ability to bring new people into your world. Now, follow up, so many people think, oh gosh, follow up, that is just kind of the blandest part of the business. And it really is. So many people forget about it. They put it on the back burner. Maybe they handle it just through sending out emails to people, or bombarding people with emails. I'm on an email list where I get an email every single day. I'm interested in funnels, so I like to sign up for funnels, but I do have one person who emails every single day, sometimes more than once in a day. It's a lot, right? But I'm really curious to watch what it is that they're doing, just because I find these things interesting. But follow-up is really key to your entire foundation. It's often said that your next new lead is actually in your database already. They're already in your world. Maybe they've already opted into something that you offer. And this is so true. People buy from people that they know, like, and trust, right? And the people who know, like, and trust you best are people who are already part of your world. And maybe the timing was just off when they had that first sales conversation with you. So if you forget follow-up, you might be missing so many opportunities. And I cannot tell you, through all of my 20 plus years again in the sales world, how often, over and over and over again, in doing follow-up, people were re-inspired to revisit what I was selling and come back and buy, just by some simple follow-up. Gosh, it just happened to me last week. But for me, follow-up needs to be multi-pronged. And by that, I mean you need to come at it in a variety of different ways. You can't just rely on email. Email is so easy to throw out, right? Not pay any attention to. So you've got to be really intentional with your follow-up. For me, what this means is I look at the people that I've had conversations with kind of in different tiers. There are people who have been very engaged right from the start. Those people definitely I pay attention to and follow up with more. We're having and starting to build a conversation even before we've talked with one another. This oftentimes can happen through messages, texts, DMs, right? They're engaged already. And I can tell, I can see that there's a higher level of interest. These people need particular special attention. Then there's those people that just need nurturing. So yes, maybe that is an email follow-up, right? But what are you doing? How are your emails? Are you creating things that people will pay attention to? Are they opening it up? Are you watching for that? These are just good things to keep in mind. But again, follow-up is an indication that you care about helping them. You're not just going to reach out for the sale, and then if they don't say yes at that moment, you're gone and you're not going to pay any attention to them anymore. That's not hopefully who you are as a business owner. Hopefully, even if the timing wasn't right when you first had that conversation with them, you still want to help them and you want to nurture them. You want to stay in touch with them. You want to continue to build a relationship. You want to show that you would like to help them if and when the time is right for them. So you want to create some sort of a systematic follow-up system that will allow you to make it personal, that will allow you to come at it from a couple of different methods, maybe text messaging, maybe some emails, maybe some voice notes, maybe some videos. You want to keep it different and interesting and intentional so that people actually pay attention to what you're sending out. So these 4 pieces, lead generation, sales conversations, the structure of your offer, and follow-up, all really need to be dialed in together. They all really lean in on each other very much. If one of these 4 cogs isn't working, you are significantly impacting, and not in a good way, your ability to bring income into your business. If you have a great lead generation system, but you're not having great sales conversations, you are not going to be enrolling as many people as you could. If you have the first 3 dialed in, but you're not doing follow-up, you're going to be missing income-producing opportunities to help more new clients in your business. All 4 of these. If you're doing lead generation, that's not the right way to find your ideal clients. you're really missing opportunities to bring income into your business. You're missing opportunities to enroll new clients. You're missing opportunities to help more people. So I hope you can see, like, these gears, this conveyor belt that you build for the foundation of your business is so critical. And all these pieces really need to hinge together, and they also actually really lean into each other. The messaging that you do, you create one really cohesive statement about who you are, who you help, the brand of your business, what you represent. All of this fits together like those gears, like that conveyor belt. It's just going to be a smooth moving from one to the next, to the next, to the next. And what it does is it ends up bringing a lot of income into your business. I hope you can see how these 4 gears really fit together. They really lean in on each other, and they honestly create this big, almost like a big package. The messaging all flows together. Your values all stand together. It's just like one flow from one to the next, to the next, to the next. And so when you create this foundation, when you create this whole structure, it really tells your ideal clients who you are as a company, what you're like to work with, what your values are, and it's unshakable. And you can, as a business owner, go back to that over and over and over, share that story with people over and over and over again, to your growth, to your success, to your ability to help more and more and more people. And it just is going to grow from there. So I'm really curious, if you have any questions on any of these 4 topics, please let me know. You're welcome to message me over there on Instagram at Jessie Q Sales Coaching. I'd love to know your questions if you have any on lead generation, sales conversations, your offer structure, or follow-up. Love to know. We can always create another podcast to talk about any one of those specifically. But I just wanted to talk about this a little bit today because of how crucial it is as a foundation for your business and getting you going in the right direction. And that it's a foundation that you can build a super strong, solid business on for years to come when you've got it all dialed in properly. So to your success on income producing activities within your business, may they all be working smoothly to deliver you lots of brand new customers. Have a great week, my friends. I'll see you in the next episode. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Now, before you go, if this episode resonated with you, I would absolutely love it if you would follow the podcast and leave a review so that we can reach more entrepreneurs just like you who are eager to start selling and fueling their dream business without feeling all those things around sales. And if you'd like a behind-the-scenes view of my life, hop on over to Instagram.com and follow me at Jessie Q Sales Coaching. Be sure to say hi and let me know you found my podcast. I'd love to hear from you. Have a great week, my friend. I will see you soon.